Most manufacturers run on two disconnected guesses. The first one is to how much of an item should we keep at hand, and the second one is to where to put it in place. The good news is that the prestigious McKinsey has calculated that for you. AI-driven forecasting alone cuts forecast error by 20 to 50%, which cuts stockouts by up to 65%. Imagine that in the frame of $1 billion manufacturer. You may already know how big is that number. This video is about a case study I did in past. I took a ceramic manufacturer and fixed these two guesses: the space problem and the forecasting problem. And in this video, I'm gonna walk you through the steps I took. This is Max. I run the Max Optimization Lab, where I take manufacturers and IT systems which are running on gut feelings and rebuild them with actual optimization models and processes. If you are an industry lead looking to solve the exact problem, or an industrial engineering student looking to see how these models actually fit in the real world, this channel is for you. Hit the subscribe. The client came to me with the exact two problems: when to order, what to order, how much to order, this is for the ordering side, and how to place them, where to place them. Should we place them at the bottom, at the top, at the near of the entry point? These all were the problems, and they were legit problems derived from the production line, and the symptoms was already there. They had figured out that we have some problems. The production line is stopping because no materials are in place, or we have excess materials at the inventory that we do not have any space to cover the new incoming materials. I said, okay, let's optimize that. And I took the problem, break it down into 5 mini or sub problems, each an optimization problem. First step was to classify each and every item on the list. Next, we modeled the space, the total available space in the inventory. Then optimized the layout. I noticed that the shelves and the aisles can be better placed with more optimized space and layout and time to travel, etc. Then on top of that was a demand forecasting model that predicts which item should you buy at when and how much to keep. We have 4 slides for today's video: the problem, the facts, the method, and the results. Let's start with the problem. So after the scoping call, the meetings, etc., I went down to the inventory. After I visited the inventory, I could smell the inefficiencies in the air. You see, this is a bonus tip for you young engineers. When you enter any facility or any system, look closely to the current situation, the current processes, and try to challenge the current system, not in a destructive way, but just ask why this actual process is happening. Is there any actual fact, actual academic procedure behind it or not? You see, when I was there, I asked why you are doing the current stuff. For example, putting some materials at the end, putting some at the front, some are down below the ground, some are up the hill, and the answer I got was shocking. They told me that this is what we inherited. You see, after years of operation, each engineer gets into what was done before and continues on that and builds on that, but no one in the chain of reactions had ever asked why we're doing this. Can we do it better? This is the exact question you industrial engineering guys need to ask everywhere you go. You can bring it even further and ask questions up front before the actual symptoms happen. You know, when the production line stops, when the material is not available, that's a no-brainer that we have some problems. The golden time of asking these kind of questions and diagnosing the system is when the actual symptoms are not even visible. That's what separates the regular industrial engineers and the excelling apex ones. They can feel, they can smell the inefficiencies. That's the level of expertise you should be aiming at if you're an industrial engineering student. Okay, so let's get down to what steps were taken. The client was a ceramic manufacturer with almost 300 to 400 employees, I guess. They were working 3 shifts, 24 hours, 7 days a week. And as I mentioned before, they had no consistent space allocation system. The movement and production critical materials weren't in a specialized position. They were on the ground, and whenever we need them, just go and grab it. Replenishment was reactive. Okay, so when we are out of something, we would call and ask for the materials. That will cause many wastes and inefficiencies. So we started this task with some goals. The goals were increase usable storage capacity, reduce material travel times, predict replenishment early enough to prevent production shortages. This is a very, very typical problem in manufacturing because they all actually run the same. So after the problem was defined, we started to grab some knowledge and information. This knowledge and information was distributed one internally in the manufacturer itself. We look at their data, the inventory data, the material usage data, the traveling data, etc. That all was in place, fortunately. You see, many manufacturers are still below the threshold of the data maturity, and they are not recording anything. Anything is on gut feeling, and the first step is to just let's collect the data. Then we will get back to insights, etc. But this client fortunately had enough data. The other information channel was the academic and the best practices. So a research was conducted, and we grabbed some knowledge from the actual papers. This is very, very grounded in the academic stuff that you guys will see, the papers, the scientific literature. Those all were research and grabbed enough data that we could utilize in our optimization models, prediction models, and optimizing the whole space. So I'm just gonna read some of these for you in order to have a better mindset on the approach we took. Lucas System Warehouse Research noted that poor slotting can cut picker productivity by roughly 20% and add 10 to 20% more travel time. On a 60 picker 2-shift operation, that's over $1 million a year in labor waste times. On the forecasting side, McKinsey research shows AI-driven forecasting reduces forecast error by 20 to 50%. And that error reduction alone can cut lost sales and stockouts by up to 65%. Oh my God. Imagine that in a billion. Just frame this in $1 billion company. Okay, so the first step was to grab some knowledge, some information, some data from the manufacturer. The second step was to model the space, the aisles, the racks. We have some constraints on them that we need to model in order to solve for the best possible answers. After that, we did the ABC-XYZ analysis. The ABC-XYZ is a fancy word for the ranking of the importance of each item. You see, the ABC is accounted for, it can be accounted for many things, but in our case, the A was the item that is most valuable in US dollar, and the C was the least, obviously. And on the other side, the XYZ is accountable for, the X is the item that has the most turnaround. It is used daily, maybe hourly, but the Z on the other end is the item that is least used, for example, once a month or maybe twice a month. That's how the classification works. After that, we have an SLAP problem, which is abbreviated for storage location allocation problem. Formally, it's a mixed integer linear programming model. The simplified version of the objective function is on the screen. You can see it. And we minimize the total weighted travel distance between locations while maximizing usable storage density subject to space and stacking constraints. For example, the max storage capacity, etc. The output was number one, optimized layout. I mean, the aisles, the formation of the aisles is very important to utilize maximum available space. After that, each and every SKU, which is a label for every item, unique item in the inventory, has a specific aisle, specific batch number, and specific storage location, optimized way. For the second half or second problem, which was the forecasting problem, we developed a machine learning model. You know, when the data is good, developing a machine learning model is very easy. And we did that. The model was trained on the transaction data, the in and outs of each item. For example, item A was used 3 times in a month, while item B was utilized each and every day multiple times. And we had the data of the travelings and the timestamp of that travel. They were recording all that in the data set. So the model is now trained on the actual inventory procedures. I mean, the comings and goings of the items. So the model was trained on the actual inventory data and can actually predict with a good accuracy. I guess it was 95-ish% of accuracy on the test set. For example, on Saturday, the item X is needed twice a day at what times? That's the exact output of the model. So after the optimization was done and the model was in place, we connected these two systems together. What I mean is that the inventory guy now has a dashboard. That dashboard is calculating these forecasts each and every day and aggregating the results per next month. So the model is trained every each and then, for example, I guess it was every 3 months, but the results are daily forecasts. For example, we aggregate the daily forecast in order to achieve what's the next week consumption rates per each item, and did that for the monthly view. With the monthly view, you can have a better idea of what we need to buy, at when, and how much. That's the exact answer they were looking for. If you are still around, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video. It will help to show the content to other maybe folks have the same problem and looking for the same solution. Thank you. Let's wrap it up. In the results section, you may see the actual results on the screen right now as I walk you through. So after optimization, usable storage capacity is now up by 56%. The first bar you see. The internal material travel down by 27%. The second bar. The number of Stockout incidents is now down by 35%. What's a Stockout incident is when we need an item but we do not have the item in place, so the production has to be stopped in order that the item is shipped and it's in our possess. So if you have the same problems, if you have an inventory and you do not know how to make better utilization of the space and maybe what to order, when to order, how much to order, etc., that we solved today, you may visit my website. The link is in the description. You may book a scoping call or a system X-ray. There are some services that you can choose, and we will get in touch soon. If you are an industrial engineer, I hope you enjoyed the video, grab some knowledge, see how these fancy models and works and stuff that you learn actually plays in the real world. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention till here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay optimized and good luck.